Hi, we're going straight into the cost of pricing on food in the US versus the food in Portugal. I have picked a few things that are essentials and a couple that aren't. And then we'll do a little bit of a deep dive on our budget and our friends' expat budgets. Maybe not into the deepest level, but we all see a very interesting correlation. Can you guess what it is? Hang around until the end, and I'll tell you exactly what the correlation is. My name is Crystal, so let's get right into it. This slide is about hamburger meat. And you can see it's a little more expensive in the US right now, $7.99 versus $4.99 here in Portugal. And please keep in mind that everything in Portugal has no tax above it. They've already included all the taxes and fees. So the US is marked as the item plus tax, and Portugal is just the item because the tax is already included. In this slide, you'll see something that's not a necessity, but some potato chips. I thought it would be fun just to show the price differences. And keep in mind that the euro and the dollar are constantly changing their rates. So the trading rates are pretty close to similar right now. So this should give you a pretty good idea. Eggs were the next one, and this one really surprised me. There's a pretty big price jump between the US and the euro in Portugal right now. As you can see, the fries dozen eggs were $7.49 plus tax, and in Portugal, $2.59 for a dozen of eggs. Now, I picked kind of the cheapest on both levels, so you could make a comparison yourself. Bread is our next item, and as you can see, there's a little bit of a difference here, about 10 cents, but I would also add the tax if you're in America. So just a small difference here. It's kind of embarrassing to me, actually, now that we have been here so long, to show you a white bread like that. Each region in Portugal has their own bread you can buy at markets around, actually in the grocery stores as well, and it's very inexpensive. So you can get a French loaf of bread or that area's loaf of bread, usually under $1. Sometimes 25 cents, 53 cents, something like that. That's it for the bread. Additionally, I have a secret surprise that no one knows about yet. I just want you to know that there is a free webinar coming up with our wonderful real estate agent, a mortgage broker, and myself so that you can have a real understanding of Portugal. I will put it in the top of the link in the comments section so you can be the first to sign up. Again, only 500 people, so hope you get that spot. Here we have lettuce, iceberg lettuce. It's exactly the same price. One's in dollars, one's in euros, so there's a little bit of a difference there, but basically the same. Again, it would just be adding tax for the US. Next, I wanted to change the subject a little. There's a lot of discussion always about gasoline for your car. So I looked and did a comparison between Arizona, where we're from, and Portugal. So currently, I converted them both to gallons. The average in Arizona is $3.13 a gallon. If you convert the gas in Portugal to gallons, you would get 4.20 per gallon. Tax thing still applies. So you're still paying tax on your gas in Arizona, could be on the top, and everything here is included in the price. So that's an important point to make. Additionally, it's worth noting that many cities and towns in Portugal are walkable. We find ourselves walking most everywhere. We usually only fill up our car when we're going on a long trip, and we usually only fill up our car once a month. Now let's talk about restaurants, one of my favorite subjects. We're going to talk about the cost of restaurants here versus the United States. Fast food is not a big thing here. You can find McDonald's, Burger King, Pizza Hut, and the occasional Starbucks if you like. But I have to tell you that even the food at the McDonald's is better here because of the laws against growth hormones, artificial coloring, and preservatives. They have done wonders for my health. And so occasionally when we're traveling, we might stop at a McDonald's, but that's about it. The food is so good here, Mediterranean diet. But so we'll start there. Let's start at McDonald's and move along. So a Big Mac's menu or meal, as it's called in the United States, with a Big Mac, fries, and a drink, averages $10.09 in America. In Portugal, the exact same meal is €6.60. A little bit less expensive here and very much more flavorful. So I could go on and on all day about the wonderful restaurants here. We have a lot of seafood, but there's also steaks and chicken and all of those types of things. Now we live in a small fishing village in Portugal called Sesimbra. We've also lived in Lagos in the Algarve, which is in the south, and Cascais, which is just north of Lisbon. We've had the opportunity to go to many restaurants, and the food is just amazing. There's so much flavor here. Since I don't know your favorite restaurants, I'm going to give some examples of the things that we eat here out at restaurants, and you can take a look and make the decision for yourself. So one of our favorite restaurants here in Sesimbra is actually in a very nice hotel called the Sesimbra Oceanfront Hotel. We like to eat early, and so around here that's unusual. So we eat in the bar at the hotel quite a bit, and we're going to show you some of our favorite people, what it looks like, and the food. We're going to show you a little bit of the menu, and you'll notice even at dinner, the prices, I think the highest price is 15 or 16 euros. Although there are a lot of things for 7 or 8 euros, this is just not something you'll see with a restaurant with this view in the United States. There are many different items on the menu, and these are just a few of the more expensive ones. This is a great option for us. We live very close. If it's raining, we can walk under mostly a roofed area to get there. So it's one of our favorite places, and the people are just so nice. Next, we're going to take you to a restaurant in Lagos, Portugal, in the southern half where we used to live. We were there last week and went to one of our favorite Italian restaurants there, and you will get to see the entire bill and see how much things cost there. Right on the marina, right next to the ocean and sailboats. Here we are inside of Portofino's, again, one of our favorite restaurants in Lagos. My husband loves Italian food, and as you can see, there's no lack of food here. We had an appetizer of a caprese salad. We had 2 entrees. We had an after-dinner drinks and coffees. Here's a look at the lovely dessert menu at Portofino's. You can see the pricing, not very expensive. So you can take a look and see that everything includes the entire price of the meal. And so here is a look. Just over 41 euros, right on the water. Next, we're going to take you to one of our favorite breakfast restaurants, Maria Galusha in Lagos as well. This is going to surprise you, I promise. All of the coffee here is fantastic, and a lot of people drink espressos, and espressos are usually 80 cents outside sometimes and €1 indoors. Or if you get a latte or galao like me, that can run anywhere from $1.50 to $3 at a very expensive place. And here is our breakfast. Waffles with the fruit, avocado toast with scrambled eggs, including juices and coffees. It's a beautiful restaurant. If you remember from the menu before, my avocado toast with my scrambled eggs was 5.50 euros, and my husband's waffle was 6 euros. And the coffees, I think we had a couple that day, were only a couple of euros. He had a cappuccino, and I had a galao, which is the same thing as a latte in the U.S. These are some average prices that you would see around for breakfast, or pequeno almoço, as it's called in Portuguese. So here's the moment you've been waiting for, the answer to what's the correlation all our friends see and ourselves. We all agree when we add up our rents, our food, our expenses, and healthcare here, we live in Portugal very nicely for about 1/3 of the cost of what we spent when we lived in the United States of America. Don't forget to sign up for our free real estate, mortgage, and living in Portugal webinar. It's just in a couple of weeks on a Saturday in February. I'm going to put all the details in the comments below. It's open to the first 500 people, so we look forward to seeing you. Thank you, and obrigada.